Hey guys, welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles! In the last episode, we started the very last adventure in the first game, which is the adventure of the enormous dog? Of the Hound of Basketball or something? I forgot already again. I'm sorry, but let's not waste any time. We had the problem that Mr. Sholmes here is very down, and that is because his violin here seems to be kind of fishy, and we examined it, and it seems like his violin is has been changed by someone. And we are going to talk about that mix-up with Wilson. So let's do that. What did you mean by a mix-up, Iris?
Well, you see, this violin, this viola, I mean, was at Windibank's until last week. At the pawnbrokers?
Not Mr. Sholmes' beloved musical partner.
There is a proverb from the East with which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellows. Always let a beloved child travel.
Yes, indeed.
So you sent your beloved violin to the pawnbrokers in the hope that it would experience personal growth?
Oh, what a wonderful idea.
Last week I pawned my great analytoscope in order to release my precious instrument. But it would appear Mr. Windibank mistakenly furnished me with this tawdry fiddle instead. But my ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of timber.
No, but your every sense was deceived by the fact that it just had strings.
Pshaw, a fine state of affairs this is. And why I always say, Mr. Naruhodo, never trust a pawnbroker. They will try to fiddle you every time.
But earlier you told us that you could think of a pawnbrokery as an extremely secure vault.
Come, Mr. Naruhodo. Dilly-dallying will get you nowhere.
Sorry?
Crunching your toast with that vacant aspect, pressing your coffee so obtusely. Are you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct, considering the urgency with which we are faced?
We must visit Mr. Windibank's brokery at once. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Sholmes?
Precisely, Mr. Sato, without a moment's delay.
But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs.
My dear fellow, surely you do not still intend to crunch your bacon with an increasingly vacant aspect, to press your egg over more obtusely.
All right, say no more. Let's go then.
Don't worry, Runo. I'd be happy to heat it up for you again later.
Oh, thank you, Iris. As it happens, I am rather curious to see what a British pawnbroker's looks like. So now he's up in heats again. Sorry. So, can we present anything new? No, of course we can't, because we didn't get anything. We can't converse, so we are able to move. New location. Either we could go to... Oh, do we want to go to Baker Street and check that out first? Yeah, let's do that. I just want to check out everything. Although we will come here once again, I guess. Although no, once we're here, we're gonna check things out. So there is nothing to check out. Look at all the different things in the window of this shop.
Ah, that's Windibank's, the pawnbrokery.
It looks much smarter than a pawnbroker's in Japan, doesn't it?
Yes, you're right. I find pawn shops at home rather inapproachable personally.
It reminds me of a tearfully parting with my favorite fountain pen. I felt so miserable.
What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, Mr. Naruhodo.
Well, if you say so. Okay, but there's nothing else to check out here, apparently. That's a little unfortunate, so we're gonna move straight into the pawnbrokery. 15th April, Windibank's Pawnbrokery. So this is a British pawnbrokery.
Oh my! There are all sorts of tools and contraptions in here that I've never laid eyes on before.
Ah, Susato-san, and that spark of wonder in your eyes. You can't wait to scour the shelves, can you? I get the impression you enjoy places like this.
Oh yes, I don't know why, but seeing such a lot of things I don't understand is a real thrill for me.
Oh, sorry guys. I just had to sneeze. Ah. Alright.
My dear fellows, let us not forget why we are here.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes!
We are calling on matters of business, not pleasure.
And clearly Mr. Sholmes means business too, judging from the spark of fury in his eyes.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, sir. Welcome back.
Did you hear that brazen welcome?
Well, yes, we are potential customers after all.
We are disgruntled customers, Mr. Naruhodo. And it's time to inform Mr. Windibank of our ire. Come! The fight is afoot!
Well, this is Mr. Windibank, it seems. But I'm gonna check out the store first. I'm sorry, but it has to be done.
What are you doing, my dear fellows? We are not here to browse for interesting curios. We have come to teach this broker a lesson.
Oh, but there are just so many fascinating items.
It looks as though we'll have to talk to Mr. Windibank first before we can explore in here, Miss Susato. Oh, that is unfortunate. Alright, so I guess we are to converse about the violin with Mr. Windibank.
Naturally, you will recall this, which I retrieved from you some days ago. Yeah.
Oh, I have to find a good voice for this guy.
Yes.
The second-rate fiddle is not my faithful instrument, Mr. Windibank. The color of the wood is different, it has holes in it, it's not even the same size.
A wonderful summary of our observations, Mr. Sholmes.
I'm so very sorry, sir. How utterly unforgivable of me. Inexcusable mistake for a pawnbroker. There is only one way to make amends. I shall have to take my own life.
I don't think that will be necessary, do you?
If I may just say one thing before I pop off.
Yes?
It was you, sir, Mr. Sholmes, who took it upon himself to remove the item the other day, I believe.
Sorry?
As I recall, I entered the storeroom to fetch your violin when I heard, "Ah, here it is."
You did?
And when I turned to controvert you, you had taken the viola and left, sir. However, there can be no doubt that the blame lies firmly at my own door for allowing you to leave. So I shall not grumble or grouse any longer. May this guilt die with me.
No. Stop, my dear fellow. The fault is mine.
Phew. It would appear that the fight is over.
I do humbly apologize, Mr. Windibank. Evidently, my questionable disposition precipitated this tragedy.
Well, you wouldn't be Mr. Herlock Sholmes without that questionable disposition now, would you?
Haha, I do believe you may be right, sir. It's either laugh.
It's either laugh or cry, I suppose.
You are, it must be said, one of my more challenging customers. I needn't remind you of the peculiar collection of items you've brought through my door in the past.
Oh, peculiar items?
In the extreme, ma'am. For example,
The unpublished manuscript of an eponymous work, the novels of Herlock Sholmes or some such.
Oh my, a new full-fledged novel! And unpublished! A story I have to yet read, you mean?
Oh, forgive me.
Wait! Before you die, you must tell me more!
The unpublished story. Let's talk about it.
I must know more! Tell me everything!
Wow, Susato-san is really fired up now.
Is there really an unpublished story on this very roof?
Well, one day the gentleman he brought in an old metal chest, you see.
I should like to entrust this to your care for a while, Mr. Windibank.
For a chest like that, 1 shilling, sir. Not a farthing more.
It houses something of very great value indeed. The latest manuscript, recounting the adventures of one Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Sorry, guys.
I beg your pardon? A manuscript? You wish to deposit a manuscript?
Indeed I do, for I'm confident it will be quite safe here.
And that was that. As such, Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom.
Mr. Sholmes, is that really true? Do I sense that someone doesn't want to talk about this?
I continue to pay your fee, do I not? Then kindly continue to store my belongings securely.
Of course, sir. Of course. They're safe and sound with me, I assure you. Of my life.
This is all very strange. Let's talk about the pawnbrokery then. I wonder, could I ask you something?
Ah, a gentleman from the east, I see. Yes, that sable suit. I suppose I could offer you 6 pence for it.
Without wishing to offend, the tone is somewhat dull. Sorry? Aha! But for your splendid attire, ma'am. 5 guineas, no less. The colors are exquisite, the design exotic. Eastern art history at its finest, may I say.
Oh my, 5 guineas, you say? How interesting.
Why do I feel as though I've suffered some sort of defeat here? Actually, I was hoping to ask you about your business. I've heard it said that pawnbrokeries are used rather like banks here in London.
Yes, sir, indeed. Many of my customers utilize the establishment as you describe.
I appraise their items and offer them a proportionate loan and 2 months of secure stowage. If in that time they repay the original sum to me plus the agreed interest, their items are happily returned.
But what happens if they don't pay you the money?
Then the items are offered for sale in my shop, as you can see on the shelves behind me.
So you never sell items before the 2 months has passed then?
That's right, ma'am. That's right. Which means some considerable responsibility rests on my shoulders. Should a customer's precious belongings be lost, the only recompense is for me to end it all.
The very idea, Mr. Windibank, is an absurdity. One should never talk of one's demise so casually.
Says the man who was telling us all it was good day to die only this morning.
And let us not forget that I have already helped you take measures to ensure such a tragedy never occurs.
Oh, what sort of measures?
I engineered a simple device which Mr. Windibank has installed here in his shop. I call it the red-handed recorder. Is that not so, Mr. Windibank?
Ha! What was that deep sigh about? The red-handed recorder. What on earth is a red-handed recorder?
Use your eyes, my dear fellow. Here are 2 just below the ceiling.
I can see what appears to be a camera attached to some sort of timing device. Where is it? I can't see it. I really can't make it out. Whatever.
Very astute. It is indeed a camera furnished with some 100 pieces of celluloid film, and every 30 minutes precisely the camera automatically records the appearance of the shop.
Here, I have an example I can show you.
Ah yes, a print from the camera is set to record the activity at the shop counter. I developed a special type of film so sensitive it produces a crystal clear image even in darkness.
Really? That's extraordinary.
Yes,
Yes, you can clearly see the counter and the door behind it locked. Look!
so you see, were someone to enter the premises with ill intent, his identity would be summarily exposed.
But did you not say that the photographic prints were taken at 30-minute intervals?
Indeed, as you say, my dear madam.
Then what if the incident were to occur in between times?
One could only say that would be a cruel twist of fate.
I must confess your devices have been giving me some cause for distress of late.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Windibank. Surely they are anything but distressing. Reassuring is the word.
It's the cost of the film, sir. You most graciously placed not one, but 2 cameras in my shop after all. Which means I must pay for nigh on 100 utterly useless prints every single day. I'm afraid the cost of the film will break me before I'm very much older.
Nevertheless, a small price to pay to ensure the safety of my preferred pawnbrokery, no? My dear fellows, we verge on an age where safety and security come at a price.
Oh, heaven help us.
Now then, Mr. Sholmes, allow me to return your precious violin.
Ah, the very thing! Thank you, Mr. Windibank.
Perhaps this might mark the end of the peculiar items you tried to pop, Because if anything were to happen to one of them,
It was but the only answer.
I really think you ought to stop waving that gun around. Someone could get hurt.
Fear not.
Sorry?
I've only loaded a single bullet, so no one but myself could possibly be harmed.
That's not really what I meant.
Good day to you then, Mr. Windibank.
It's been a pleasure as always, Mr. Sholmes.
So, Mr. Naruto? Now we can explore at last.
Yes, we can, and I'm really eager to do so. Let's have a look around. For example, at these shelves.
What an assortment of things there are on these shelves here. Crockery, footwear, clocks, and watches. Almost anything you care to imagine.
Those are forfeited items offered by sale for sale by the pawnbroker.
What does that really mean, though?
When you pawn, or colloquially pop, an item, the broker loans you money against its worth. He stores the item for an agreed period of time, after which the loan must be repaid. If not, he is free to display it in his shop for sale, at a price of his choosing.
Oh yes, now you've explained it. I'm noticing little price tags on everything.
Of course, simply by paying the agreed interest on the loan, one can extend the period of safekeeping. So you may pawn that black garb of yours without fear, my dear fellow.
My treasured university uniform? Never! It embodies my student spirit. Well. What else do we have here? Nothing more of interest? That's weird. Is that really all? Oh, okay, there are more ladders.
Look at that enormous ledger open on the counter.
Mr. Windibank.
Mr. Windibank If nothing else, very particular about recording the items he accepts. He'd have to be, otherwise he'd get himself into all sorts of trouble.
Which might explain the thing that catches my eye far more than the ledger. This revolver here.
Do not entertain even a single thought of pilfering an article herein, my dear fellow. I assure you Mr. Windibank would not hesitate to draw that weapon with a speed belying his portly size.
Oh, you don't mean he'd...
Blow his brains out? Indeed, in recompense for his blunder.
Oh my. But in any case, of course we would never do such a thing. How could you even suggest it?
That is true, but I want to check out the spade here because I'm pretty sure there's an achievement for checking out, at least in Ace Attorney Trilogy, there was an achievement for checking out every letter. And I want to check this out. So I can't apparently because we're just going to talk about everything again here, right? So, but we can skip it, so that's fine. Yeah, let's just skip that because we just read that, heard that. Okay, what about the storage back there? There seems to be a little door hidden behind that curtain here.
That leads to the storage room, where Mr. Windibank keeps articles that are currently in pawn.
Oh, I see.
There's nothing of particular interest inside. I certainly wouldn't recommend any larcenous activity.
Recommend it or not, it's not something I tend to do.
There's but one key, and Mr. Windibank keeps it in his pocket at all times. Before he sleeps, he places it into a small pot which he slides under his pillow.
How on earth do you know about that, Mr. Sholmes?
I am a detective, sir. It is my business to know what others do not. I am frequently assailed by information that I neither care for nor wish to retain.
Mr. Sholmes, you are a wonder.
And the prime suspect of the pawnbrokery is ever burgled. So that might be the case at hand. Mr. Windibank might get robbed. And then Mr. Sholmes is the prime suspect and we have to defend him.
Look at this. What could this lovely big shiny box be?
That, my dear madam, is a music box. Surely you have such things in your own country.
Oh my, yes, but I've certainly never seen one so large before.
Shall we listen a while?
A jukebox? In the Victorian era?
Ah, what a sublime sound. It's like the music of angels.
I've never heard anything like it before in my life.
This particular specimen is of the larger variety commonly found in public houses and restaurants. There is a metal disc inside on which the notes to be played are recorded. Simply by replacing the disc with another, any music you care to imagine can be played.
My goodness, what a simply delightful machine.
Indeed, though their popularity has waned recently with the development of the gramophone, of course.
Ah, science and technology advance at such an overwhelming pace.
Oh, those were simpler times, guys, huh? Simpler times. Alright, so let's have a look here. I would like to check these puppets out, these marionettes or whatever they are. But this seems like a film box or something.
Now, what do you suppose this rather enormous machine does?
It seems to have two little windows for looking through.
Allow me to enlighten you, my dear fellows. What you're looking at is a stereoscope.
A stereoscope, okay.
A stereoscope? Fascinating.
It is aptly named, I assure you. Look through the eyepiece and see for yourself.
Oh, I should be delighted to. Excuse me a moment while I just have a look.
Just before you do, there's something I should point out. My dear fellows, in order to see the image properly, stereoscopically, as it were, you will need to be cross-eyed. However, that is beyond you. It is of little consequences today.
Alright then, I'm going to try it. Oh! Mr. Naruhodo, you must see at once!
Alright then. So I need to be cross-eyed like I'm trying to look at my own nose. What the? I don't believe it, so we are supposed to be... And I'm... you can't look at me right now. I do have a camera, but I didn't put it on for this Let's Play. And if I'm going cross-eyed, this person, this young lady looks actually 3D. And it might be a reference to the 3DS where this game came out in the first place. So, that might be the case. I don't know. If you know, put it in the comments. I don't believe it. It's just a photographic print, but it seems like I could reach out and touch it.
Yes, the sense of depth is startling, is it not? Stereoscopes are one of London's many fads. They are often found in little stalls in the park. People queue for hours to see them.
Why? Why are people meddling with such black magic?
It is no magic, my dear madam. It is, well, far too complicated to explain at present. We shall save the lesson for another day.
Oh.
So this is definitely a reference to the 3DS. Alright, what else do we have here? This seems like...
Look at this, whatever could this be used for?
I have no idea.
There's a small catch just here, look.
We're going to open it, aren't we?
Oh my, that's amazing. It's some sort of spring-loaded mechanism.
Which we'll never manage to put back to the way it was before.
What are you two doing?
What? Us? Nothing. No, nothing at all. Whatever this device is, it seems to have a pair of little windows to look through. I feel as though I've seen something rather similar to this elsewhere, so this might be binoculars then. Okay. Let's have a look at the calendar. That's not a calendar you could easily miss, is it? 15th April. Today's date. Yes, that's not for sale, I must point out. It is an Eastern Style page, a day calendar. Every night at midnight, I tear off the front page to reveal the following day's date.
The perfect calendar for a tearaway fellow such as yourself, Mr. Windibank.
And who was it who walked out of here with the wrong violin before? Well, when the agreed storage period has passed without repayment, articles are forfeited, you see. So I have to keep a close eye on the date. It's something of a pawnbroker's obsession, you might say.
Oh yes, I can see you're very dedicated to your job.
What? Only tuppence for it? That ain't fair, and you know it. The article's barely worth a penny, miss. I cannot offer more.
I cannot offer more. Sounds like there's an argument brewing over by the counter.
Come on, that can't be right. Have you ever had a proper butcher's at it? I've seen all I need to see.
Oh, I've seen all I need to see, young girl.
Oh, there's Gina.
Wait, don't we know? I'm sure I recognize her.
Oh yes, it's the young lady from Mr. McGillicud's trial 2 months ago.
Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer. Earns her crest among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. What's commonly called a pickpocket. George Bennett, you lot!
Hello, Miss Lestrade. I hope you've been well.
What? You remember me then, do ya?
Well, I remember being completely surrounded by smoke, that's for sure.
So, what are you doing here? down and out like the rest of us. Nothing to eat. Come to pop that black weasel. Sorry, goat. Have ya?
What is it about this black uniform that makes everyone comment on it? Oh,
Good day, unless I'm much mistaken. You would be the young pickpocket who stole our experimental smoke grenade launcher. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. So you have something of value to pawn, do you? Allow me to see the article and I shall negotiate with Mr. Windibank on your behalf. Pull the other one. Don't need no help from some stuck-up D. Get out of my business. Go on or I'll make trouble for you. As you wish, Miss Lestrade. I will happily remove myself from your presence.
he's really done it. He's gone.
I'm sorry, but as I said, there are really no room for negotiation here.
What is that thing he has in his hand? Some kind of metal disc?
And you, go on, leave me alone.
Oh, Miss Lestrade, just pretend we aren't here. We shan't be offended in the slightest.
Susato-san can really stand her ground when she wants to.
Whatever.
So we are about to converse with Gina. But before that, I just want to check out if I have anything else left here. So we are supposed to check out everything once again, as it seems. Look at Mr. Windibank watching diligently over his shop. There are still so many things I'm curious about.
I don't believe this is a time for browsing, Mr. Naruto.
We should probably see whether the arguments between us resolved yet, I suppose. Ah, okay. So we have to talk to Gina first, and then we can browse again. But we're gonna leave that for the next episode of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, guys, because we have reached the half-hour mark already. So see you soon on the next episode. See you there.